So what we are going to do today is we are going to see if we can be annoying. How annoying can we be? How many different voices do you think we can talk in? I do not know. But we are going to, hold on, we got to have a word from our sponsor. Here's our sponsor. Today, our sponsor is the letter L. L is for life. You gotta have a life. I don't have a life when I'm driving, so therefore I make videos. Yeah, L is for life. So today's sponsor is the letter L for life. It's also for love. If you love somebody, then you've got life with them. But if you don't love anybody, what kind of life is that? So, back to our program. So, now we're back to our program, huh? What are we going to talk about today? Well, Bob, we would like to talk about trees. I ain't talking about no trees, they make lumber. Well, what about trucks? I ain't talking about no trucks, they haul lumber. Okay, what about vans? I ain't got nothing wrong with a van. I ain't got nothing good to say about them. Other than they move stuff. What else do you want? Well, maybe we need to talk about road signs. I hate road signs. The road signs will drive you insane. They're always trying to tell you where to go or where you're at. They're trying to give you information you really don't want, you're not interested. Like here's one that says, truck parking next right. I ain't in a truck, so why do I need to know where to park it at? And I don't care if it's on the right or the left. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up there today. You can also subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button. So what we're doing today is we are making boxes. These are scroll saw boxes. What I did was I laminated 3 pieces of cedar fenced together to create the box. With this box, I then cut out 4 pieces out of 1 lamination. Now comes time for the sanding. There's a lot of sanding that goes with these. Here I'm using the random orbital sander, or the oscillating sander, sorry about that. Sanding the insides of them. I'm not worried about the outside yet because I will true the box up here shortly. So right now it's more important to make sure that you get the inside sanded before you put anything else on them. It does make it a whole lot simpler. So you just want to keep on sanding and sanding and sanding. Okay. Next, now I'm planing the lids. I didn't want my lids to be as thick as the box and take up a lot of the interior space. And so the spacer, I was planing down the spacers that's going to create the friction fit. Okay, so next you see me over here at the workbench starting to glue up. There's the bottom. It's going to fit on the bottom of the box. So I'm going to take and glue the bottom to it. I'm also fixing to start marking the tops. What I decided I want to go for the top. I'm having trouble finding one that the grain talked to me, so I look around at different pieces of wood. I didn't know which one I wanted to show on the exterior. This is all done with scrap wood. These are after I've made signs out of them, what's left out of the lumber, out of the fence, the cedar fencing. So I found a piece of wood that I wanted to use the top on. And so you're going to see the grain here in a second. I'm going to show you a nice close-up. There's our close-up of the grain. I kind of like the way that grain looked. It's going to make a pretty top. So what I do now is I take one of the friction fit pieces, and I'm going to trace the inside of the box. You want to leave it a little proud. You can always sand it down to get it to fit in a little bit better. And so that's what I decided to do here. The first box that I made, I didn't get the lid as tight on it as I wanted to. The second one, the lid did have friction fit, which is what I was after. And so it was a learning process in which I learned, to, on the scroll saw, I usually cut right on the line. Sometimes you have to cut just outside the line to make it a little bit bigger. So that's what I did. Now for the lid, I'm tracing around the outside of the box. And what I'm doing is I'm holding the pencil up, straight up and down as best as I can. And that's giving me the thickness of the pencil wider to make sure that my lid is proud of the box. I want it to be proud before I go to my final sanding. That way I can sand everything down and bring it all down into an even fit. So here I'm just double checking everything. I kind of lifted the box a little bit. Didn't get the pencil mark on there good. So I ended up having to put it back on. Okay, so now I'm going to take these over to the scroll saw, and I'm going to cut them out on the scroll saw. So here I am on the scroll saw. I am using a DW 788, DeWalt 788 Flying Dutchman Ultra Reverse number 3 blade. There's no real fine cut, so I didn't need a finer blade. I've got some 1s and 5s, but 3s just happen to be what I got in there. So you kind of saw there how the friction fit lid's going to sit together. So now I'm checking it, and this is where I find out that I was a little bit, I cut right on the line, and so therefore I was not getting the snug fit that I wanted out of the friction fit. So I'm kind of debating as to whether I want to redo it or not, but I decided not to redo it. Go ahead and keep that one. It's just one of the things, that I think make it look a little bit better if you do the friction fit. But this was, a test piece, the first one I've done. So I just wanted to kind of see how it was going to look in general. So here I'm putting the top to bottom as the entire box, just to see what it looked like. So from there, then I will sand it down smooth on all sides and around my corners better. So that's kind of what I saw, what you're looking at there to get the boxes to fit. So now I'm going to take it apart. Now I got to do the glue up. So I'm going to take the inside of the box, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark on my lid the inside. That way I will know where the friction fit is supposed to go. So I set it on there, kind of line it up the way I want it. Then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace around the inside again. Once again, this is on the lid itself. First I got to sharpen my pencil. I found out my pencil was kind of dull. I like to sharpen my pencil over on the sander. It just happens to be easy. So now I'm tracing the inside just so I know where my marks need to be, where I need to place that friction fit lid. So now I'm just double checking, see where I'm at, make sure I like what I see. That's how it's going to glue on there. So now I'm reaching for the glue. Got to have my glue bot. I got this glue bot from Russ Clarity. He had a contest and I won it, and I do thank him for that. You can find him over on Simply Wooden Creations. He's a very nice guy. Has a lot of contests. Does a lot for the woodworking community, especially scrolling. Here I'm making sure I got clamps. These are both Harbor Freight clamps. The squeeze clamp, avoid like the plague. They're pieces of junk. The F clamps, love them. Highly recommend them. cheap and durable. So now I'm taking glue. I'm using Type Bond 2. Yeah, there ain't gotta be no fancy glues or Gorilla Glue. It's just Type Bond 2. Excuse me. I'm spreading it around to my edges. Just making sure I got it all the way out to the edge. Then I'm just taking the clamp and clamping her up. You want to clamp it fairly tight, but you want to make sure you stay on the lines. You'll see me adjust it several times here because it did kind of move. If you don't get it within your lines that you drew, then you're going to not fit. Okay? You also want to wipe off the excess glue. It just makes it a little more. So here I'm just putting some glue around the edges, getting ready to glue the bottom on. This here, your finger, just spread your glue out evenly. That's best tool in the shop. Your fingers. Make sure you walk in with 10, walk out with 10. So now I'm just lining the bottom of it up, and I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to put it in my wood vise, just because I can get even pressure on it that way, a little bit wider. So I'm going to move the camera here. Didn't mean to make anybody motion sick, but this is on my, believe it or not, my Harbor Freight workbench. I highly recommend those. It's a good bench and fairly reasonable priced, and it was actually easy to put together, believe it or not. So, but I'm going to put it down in the vise, just to put even pressure, and then I'll come back on the top and put a couple of clamps on the top of it just to kind of help hold the corners down, so it'll look right. So now it's just a matter of time. You gotta wait on that glue to dry. There's my other boxes I'll be working on. I didn't show all those. Okay, so now we're going to be coming up on the finished product. You're going to see the boxes completed here in just a second, maybe. Thank you for watching.